end of you. You and I gonna tear shit up! Should I stay or should I go?
Far Cry 4 is a massive and expansive open-world first-person shooter. The story of Far Cry 4 is incredible, and the world is incredibly diverse and beautiful. First, let's get into the open world of Far Cry 4. There's quite a lot of space here. It's probably one of the largest open worlds I've ever played. There's quite a few things to do relating just to the open world, having nothing to do with the main story itself. You can take over 24 outposts, each allowing fast travel with a diverse type of enemy and a diverse location. There are 4 fortresses you can take over, which are just essentially incredibly powerful outposts. Additionally, there are 17 bell towers. Each bell tower you discover shows 1/17 of the map. Walking around a location does not discover the map. All it does is makes the fog around the map slightly less thick. To discover the map, you need to either purchase maps from a vendor or liberate bell towers. You can also destroy propaganda, and there's a lot of side quests you can do. In terms of the main story, it's kind of lacking. There's about 4 people, Pagan Min, Noor, Paul Deplore, and Yuma. Each one awesome character. However, they don't do anything with them. Among the 32 quests, about 28 of them are focused on just fighting the normal people there, the soldiers, the Royal Army. Very few are actually focused on fighting these bosses or discovering things about these bosses. I wish they had done more with the primary enemy, Pagan Min. He shows up in the beginning, and you hear him all throughout the game, him talking to you through your radio, but he doesn't show up again until the end. What I was afraid of with Far Cry 4 was, if I finished the main campaign, would I be bored when I'm trying to discover the rest of the world, complete the rest of the side quests? Sort of like I was with Fallout 4, but not at all. It's so much fun to take over those outposts and to liberate those bell towers. The side quests get incredibly repetitive. There are way too many side quests. And when I say side quests, there are these little people that you can visit and they'll give you individual quests. No, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the little side quests for the people of the Golden Path. You can probably imagine stealth is a very big part of this game, but you can also always go in guns blazing. My favorite thing to do in this game would be to go up, liberate a bell tower, find 3 or 4 of the outposts nearby, and liberate each one of them using a different style of play. The way this game uses animals is also incredible. There's a wide diversity of animals, including eagles, tigers, and rhinos. Eagles are very hard to kill considering they're flying around the air, and they don't appear very often, except to jump down and attack you when you have to swat them away. The rest of the animals will attack you or enemies, whichever one's closer, until they're killed, or the enemy or you disappear. Animals are an integral part of Far Cry 4, not just because you can use them to attack enemies, they attack you, and they just are all over the place, but you need to skin them to get new crafting. You can upgrade your storage bags and storage units, but to do that you need to get specific animal skins. Also, you can have a bait bag. This bait bag allows you to throw bait, which will attract any nearby animals to the location that you throw the bait. They'll then attack you or enemies, whichever one's closer. This game has the most comprehensive vehicle system I've ever seen. Not just because there are 18 different vehicles you can use, some being helicopters, some being hang gliders, some being cars, and some being boats, some even being car boats. But there are so many things you can do with a car. I've never seen a game where you can fall down a cliff, your car topples over, it forces you to exit, and then you can push the car over to get it back on land. Also, cars randomly explode sometimes, but they have a damage meter. You don't see this damage meter when riding in the car, but you can take out a repair tool to repair it. Once the damage meter reaches 0, the car will either stop or explode depending on what's attacking it. There are 2 main leaders to the Golden Path, Amita and Sabal. There are some quests that require you to choose between them, and eventually one will ask you to kill the other. You will have to do quite a bit of quests for both of them, and eventually you'll have to choose which one you want to make the leader of the Golden Path. Some of the quests started to feel repetitive. Even though the object of each quest was very different, to defend a location, attack a location, burn a drug field, or capture the drug field and sell drugs for yourself, it felt very repetitive. You'd essentially go in, kill a bunch of guys, and do something else, like burn drugs or defend a temple. Some of the quests were very interesting and unique, and some of them it was worth playing multiple times. but the others I would continue to die, and it really frustrated me because the quest was so repetitive. The plot of this game is just absurd. So you're this American who came to Karat, which is in the middle of the Civil War, and what ends up happening is actually pretty cool. You end up winning the Civil War for one of the sides, and some other stuff happens along the way. But you come there to spread your mother's ashes, and rather than join with the person who tells you he's the good guy and says, here, let's spread your mother's ashes right now, you end up joining this big rebellion and helping them fight for no reason at all, besides the fact that, oh, that's a fun thing to do. Honestly, the game's story really lacked. However, I did find each of the 32 quests very interesting. The Longinus, Yogi and Reggie, and Shangri-La quests are practically the same. It's a little bit different each time, different enemies, different location, but you're doing the same things each time. Shangri-La is pretty cool, and I've only been there a few times, and it only lets you go there a few times, but each time is very fun. You have a tiger, a bow, and a knife, and you have to protect Shangri-La from the demons that roam within it. What happens in Shangri-La does not affect the regular world, but it's still a lot of fun to play it. I did find that getting to locations felt really repetitive. Not because you had to fly around, or drive around, or walk around, or swim around so much, but because so many of the roads were just exact copies of each other. You didn't find unique roads. There wasn't this road. Oh, yeah, I remember I've been on this road. In Fallout 4, there's these super mega highways, and you remember when you've been on one if you have to take it all the time. In Far Cry 4, there really aren't. There are just a bunch of roads that look the exact same. I've explored quite a few of the roads, and sometimes in the middle of a quest, rather than take the fast way, you can just go up a hill on a road and see where that road takes you. There are a ton of locations in Far Cry 4. Most of them are not big ones like settlements or outposts or things like that, but there are little ones where you've got a little mini monastery or a little cave or something like that. Each one's very interesting to explore. It's more fun when there's enemies there, but you know, it still works when it's not. You know, in my opinion, the best part of this game is the radio host, Rebbe Rana. He's actually a pretty cool guy and he's got a lot of fun stuff to say. You even have to do some quests for him. The disappointing part is you can only hear him when you're in specific cars, or once you take out all the bell towers, you hear him all the time in every single car, or when he asks you to do a quest. Unlike Fallout 4, there's no way to hear him all the time on your radio or anything. It's kind of a bummer. I am aware that there's currently a Far Cry 5, but I think Far Cry 4 is a more enjoyable game. Honestly, you're buying this game for the world, not for the story. The story is good, don't get me wrong, but you're buying this game for the world if you want to. I think that this game is definitely worth a buy for about $25 at this point.
Now, please, stay.
I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in a future Ender's Diamond video. Goodbye, everybody.
You and I are gonna tear shit up!
Should I stay or should I go?